The Grow My Cleaning Company podcast helps owners of cleaning companies just like you to grow your company and yourself so you can make more money and finally get the time and money freedom that probably got you into this business. Discover how to automate and create systems that allow you to grow like crazy without losing control. If you dig the show and want to show some love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. It really helps. Enjoy the show.
Hello, 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 Clean Nation. Tracey Thompson here with the amazing, lovely, comparable Suzanne Bandick. She and I are Mike's Grow My Cleaning Company's mindset coaches. And together today, we're going to tackle a very interesting topic. I think it's very relevant right now. And I don't know when you're going to be listening to this or seeing this later. But right now, as of July 2021, hiring is the hot topic. And we're going to be talking about hiring landmines. Right, Suzanne?
Absolutely. I'm so excited to do this topic.
I know. And you're probably already thinking to yourself, well, what the heck do two mindset coaches, right, know about or have to do with hiring? What does mindset have to do with hiring anyway? You know, it's funny. I just kind of like a funny in my head. It was like, land mindsets. Landmines, the landmines of, yeah, anyway, I was cracking myself up. I do that often. So, Suzanne, why don't you kick us off? We start this topic about hiring right now.
Well, Tracey, all the time we hear from even some of our students, which hopefully we would have taught them the mindset already. But exactly. What comes up is a challenge with hiring right now. Share with us, please. What are the challenges? What are people saying about hiring right now? Let's start there.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'll just list them off really quick. We're hearing a lot of, you don't understand. Right now in my area, and it doesn't matter where they are, by the way, doesn't matter what country, doesn't matter. It always starts with, in my area, nobody is looking for work. Everybody is, even if they fill out an application, they don't show up. And if they do show up, they're not serious. And all I get is a bunch of losers, and nobody in my area wants to work. I hear that a lot. Or I hear the government's paying people to stay home. So, clearly we're just going to have to wait this out. There's just no way to hire people, even though I'm desperately needing cleaners right now. And I'm trying everything I can. You don't understand. I'm trying everything. So, yeah, it sounds pretty much like that. And I'm sure you out there have probably either heard it or maybe even said that, one of those things, at least once, right?
Right. So
that's pretty.
Tracey, I'm hearing that the government is paying people, that they just want to sit on the couch, that there's nobody good out there, that nobody's coming to interviews, that, right?
Yeah.
All of that are possible landmines, right?
Yeah, you would think. Yeah. You would think that that's exactly what we were referring to. Mm-hmm.
But folks, you got two mindset coaches in your room here. And I got to ask you, Tracey, there's got to be more of these landmines that are more hidden than we know, correct?
Right, that is absolutely right. So let's just start with all of those perceived landmines are all external. Right? They're all external. It's the government. It's my area. It's these crapplicants, as Mike puts it. There's nobody good showing up. It's I've tried everything. I'm on Indeed. I've tried every platform. All of that's external. Even the things that are related to the things you're trying, like I'm on Indeed. I'm, putting it out there. I'm interviewing people. I'm trying to interview people. How is that external? Well, this is what we hear is everything that we've listed so far, those quote landmines are external. But what we're talking about, the really dangerous hidden ones, are internal. And that's with us. That's our mindset behind the whole hiring process. So I'm going to share with you what that looks like. So what are some of those landmines, right? Okay, take a deep breath. The good news is these are actually the only ones you really control. These are the ones you get to control. Everything else, the government you can't control, the people in your area, you're not in control of other elements out there, but you are in control of your mindset. So
Really, Tracey? It's not everybody else's fault?
I know, it's crazy, right? Imagine that. And even if you're like, okay, I'm pretty convinced that I have tried everything. I've done it all. I'm, doing my best. I want to just put this to you in a very simple way. And we were talking about this earlier, starting with the way that you talk about the whole circumstance to begin with, right? So whenever we play not to lose versus playing to win, that was something that we just talked about in our prior podcast, Suzanne and I. This scarcity mentality, the idea that the story we tell right off the bat is automatically negative. If we really break down what we're saying, we're talking about how the government is paying people. Like Mike and I play this game all the time, like two truths or three truths and a lie. Well, it's more like three lies and one truth in this case. So the government is paying people to stay home. Okay, maybe that's true in your area. The part that's the lie, or the part that is not useful, is the rest of that story. So let's say they're still paying people for unemployment, right? And that's still going on in your area. Okay, that may be the truth. But the part that's not useful and that can be changed is, and that means nobody wants a job right now. They would rather, everybody would rather stay home and sit on the couch. So what were the indicators? What did you hear, Suzanne? What parts of that? What was the tip off that some of that was not true?
I love that thought, Tracey, that you're taking what appears a truth and you're giving it meaning. Our head is creating meanings.
That's
Ooh,
right.
we have to be careful. There are meanings that would serve us and meanings that don't serve us. Tell us more.
Right. Yes. So in this case, in this scenario, what we're making it mean is not useful. It's not. Is it useful to you? If you're trying to hire right now, okay, let's say you need to hire people, you need to have cleaners, and this is the story that you're telling yourself. Is it useful for you to say, no one in my area wants a job because they're getting unemployment? Is that useful? Even if you are convinced it's true, is it useful? So
that feels crappy.
Doesn't it feel terrible? It feels awful. It feels pretty, I call it an unsolvable problem. Because here's one tip off. Anytime you start a sentence with everyone, no one, right? Globalizing anything, you're probably off track with the truth. Okay, that's probably a lie. So nothing is ever all the time, everybody, right? So that's a tip off. Okay. But right off the bat, now you've identified this is not a good story. So what, Suzanne, maybe we can help them out. What would be a better meaning story to give that fact, the fact that, let's say in their area, the government is still giving additional unemployment benefits? What could be a better story?
Okay, how about going with the thought that there are people out there who really want to do work? They would rather be cleaning than sitting at home taking government money.
That's true. Absolutely. Is there a world where there are people that would rather work than sit at home. Well, if you want evidence, go out your door and go to a McDonald's, go to any store that's open. And if they have employees that probably make around minimum wage, and you probably pay more than that, there's your evidence that yes, there are people that would rather work than sit at home. So the point is that we don't challenge those beliefs. We don't challenge those stories enough. And we let them take over, and they compound one after another, these meaning-making stories that we make it mean. So really, strategy number one is to just separate out what's fact, right? What's factual and what's story, and then ask yourself the million-dollar question, is that story helping me accomplish my goal or not? If not, then switch it, right? Turn it around, challenge it with a powerful question. Like, is it true everywhere, all the time, with everyone? That's a good question to ask yourself if you're challenging a belief or a thought. And if that's not the case, then it's a lie. It's not true. And you can change it.
Right. Oh, I love that, Tracey. I have two things that I glimmered from that. And that's why I love talking with you, right? Because I learn things all the time. We're assigning meanings to things. That's
Right.
the first thing I heard. And the second thing I'm thinking is that when I take control of how I choose to think,
Mhm.
I feel like I am in control again rather than feeling out of control. Like there's nothing that I can do about it. It feels so much better to feel more in control.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's where this is so interesting, everyone. When we say things like, no one wants to work right now, no one is coming to my interviews, I've tried everything. Okay. You see the globalizing language around that. What it does is it shuts down the part of our brain, the immense, limitless part of our brain for creativity, for solutions. It's pretty much it. It's kind of like telling Google, right, I'm done. You shut your computer down and then you keep talking to it as if it's like you shut the lid, you shut your laptop down and then you go, why isn't it bringing me solutions? Well, that's what you're doing to the creative part of your brain when you say things like that to yourself, right? So right off the bat, if you want to open yourself to more creativity, more creative possibilities, this is the way to do it. Start changing your mindset first. So let me give an example. This is actually from today, Suzanne. So this is really, really fresh. I was talking to one of our clients who is at a place where the good news is they're growing like crazy and they're getting a lot of new clients. And we're like, yay, the new clients, right? And then he said, however, now we have to hire 4 people like right now. And so we started talking about hiring. So this is right just today. And I said, okay. And I started asking questions about the just factual questions, right? What are you doing? Where are you putting your ad? How many applicants and so forth. And what's interesting is as soon as I started asking factually based questions, the story started to come up, right? And this is natural. And this is not throwing anybody under the bus. We all do it.
We all do it.
We all do it. But the story was, we believe we're trying everything we can. We've already tried. We're just not getting people showing up to the interviews. Oh, okay. Let's pull that apart a little bit because that was their true perception. They weren't even being uncoachable. It was just, that was the block. And they came to the call saying, we really do want to figure this out, but we feel like we've tried everything. So now what? So of course, coaching them through this, I helped them realize that there were really only a few facts that they hadn't even really looked at that closely. The facts, like actual numbers. Exactly how many applications did you get? And they're like, well, we think it was about this many. And I said, so hold on. So right off the bat, if you aren't, ask yourself this question: have I written down the facts, the actual facts about what's happening yet? And this is one of the things we do with our clients, is we have them separate out right away the facts from the fiction, the facts from the meaning-making stories that we've told ourselves, right? So once we pulled apart those facts, the numbers alone told a different story than what they thought, they believed was happening. And they said, oh, we're not getting enough applications. Okay, so it's not that no one was showing up to the interviews and they couldn't find any good people and they tried everything. That was the meaning that they were making, the perception of the numbers, and it wasn't even the real numbers. So once we got to the numbers, we saw right away exactly where the chink in the armor, where the problem was. And then at that point, the client was like, oh, okay, we can fix that. That's fixable. Immediately, it was like, oh, the heavens open. And we all have those blind spots when we start making those meaning stories truth to us. And they were stuck because they believed that was the truth. So hopefully that this helps you start seeing for yourself, where have you looked at in the hiring process? If you're frustrated right now with hiring, what's true, right? Really write down, take a piece of paper out and write facts, actual facts, like numbers. How many applicants are you getting? How many times have you put up your ad? How many interviews have you, like, really write the numbers down so that you can start piecing out the story from the actual numbers and the facts. That's step number one. And then when you start looking at the story, hearing the story, write it down. It's amazing, Suzanne, we talk about this a lot. Just the act of writing something down suddenly changes it, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. I've had people write things down and then go, well, that's just stupid.
You're like, wait, is that really what I'm thinking? Did I really just say that? Or did I really just write? And it's kind of like the boogeyman, right? We turn on the light and we shine it on it. We go, well, that's silly. That's not true. And so my encouragement is write it down. And from there, that's when you can start working with these stories and shifting them and turning them around for your good. And that's when creativity starts to open up and answers come. And at least then, for example, if you're working with a coach or you're working with somebody who's trying to help you, you're open to that coaching. You're open to those ideas.
Right.
And so I would say, Suzanne, in wrapping this up, is there anything else that Clean Nation should know about the mindset part of hiring right now?
Well, I think, as you pointed out, it's all in asking the right questions.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say, right, so if you're saying this isn't working, something I'm doing isn't working, and you feel powerless. If you can just continue to ask the question, well, what could work? What could work? And just keep asking the question, our mind is going to go to work to find us the answers, and we're going to feel more in control and happier. Ultimately, it's what thought makes us feel better.
I love that. That's a writer downer. Just continuing to ask yourself what could work, what can work. I mean, that's wonderful. I love that. Thank you so much for that bow on the top of this present. Hopefully everyone got something out of this today. And here's the thing, Clean Nation, if you are at a place where you're really frustrated, you're like, okay, I'm just done banging my head against this hiring wall and I'm ready to grow. I want support. I want help. We have an answer for you. We've got amazing coaches here, amazing business coaches, one of which is Miss Suzanne's husband, Sean. He's an incredible part of our team, ready to talk to you. Let us help you. Let them help you. And the way that you do that is you go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk and you fill out a form and then you get on a call with one of our coaches. And believe me, if you've got some stuckness, some blind spots, they're going to help you get unstuck and come up with a great plan for your future and your growth. So, all right. Wonderful. Thank you so much. We will see you on the next podcast.
Bye all.
Well, here we are, the end of the podcast, and you made it. Great job. I've got a little bonus for you for sticking through with me, but like I mentioned before, if you got value out of this podcast and you want to show a little love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever the heck you're listening to this thing. Share with a friend, share the love. And as a special thank you for those of you that stuck with me to the end, how about I give you my personal phone number so we can text? It's a great way for me to get to know you, your business, your goals personally. So shoot me a text now, 602-932-6431. 602-932-6431. I am the only one who responds to these texts, and I will personally respond to everyone I possibly can as long as this number is manned. Don't know how long we're going to keep this at the end of the podcast, so grab it now. 602-932-6431. Give me a text, say hey, can't wait to meet you.